Hey everyone, welcome to episode on our Linux series. In this episode, we are going to discuss about Linux documentation, how it is being used in a day-to-day basis. In our previous episodes, we have covered some of the interesting topics on Linux as a whole. If you have not watched it, please watch it. There will be a link to the playlist in the description as well as in the pinned comments. Please share your thoughts in the comment box and ask your doubts wherever you are getting stuck during your learning journey. Please join our Discord community where we try to engage within the community for more elaborative doubt clearing sessions and connect with you more closely. There is a link to the Discord community in the description box as well. Please join it if you have not done it already. So in this episode, we are going to cover about the Linux documentation source. What are the different kind of documentation source available within your Linux? What exactly the main pages, how to access it and how to play around it. Next, we'll understand about what are the manual chapters, how to access it, and how it works. Then we will try to understand what is the GNU info system, how it is different from the man pages, and how to work with it. We will see how the help option works with each command and how it can be used. Finally, some of the other documentation sources which are available in each distributions other than main pages and how to access it. So without any further delay, let's jump into the topic. When it comes to accessing the documentation, there are multiple sources available within your Linux distribution. Ideally, there are four types. First one is your main pages, where you can access the documentation which comes predefined or pre-installed with any of the distributions. Secondly, we have the GNU info system, which is kind of a more elaborative description about the each options available within your Linux. Third, we have the command help options by which you can access the quick documentation within your command prompt itself. Finally, we have other sources available online which you can utilize for reading more about it, right? So just to give you in a short note, the documentation helps you to understand the commands as well as understanding the architecture in better way. Some of the videos or some of the documentation in the internet can help you to understand the Linux better, but reading the documentation make you more advanced level or a pro administrator or pro user within Linux. So that is why documentation plays a key role when you are trying to learn about any of the command or want to know more about the command, want to understand the system calls, you want to understand the file system, how it works, command lines, options, arguments, lot many things which can be accessed within your documentation, right? That is one case scenario. Another scenario is that let's say you are a new user and you have joined a company and you have given a Linux as a playground to learn and work simultaneously. In that case, there may not be a tutor who can teach you, but there can be a documentation within your Linux which comes alongside with your Linux, which can help you to understand and learn on the go. You can learn it, utilize it, and do your job side by side, but that is not recommended. It can help you if you know some basics prior to that without working it. Documentation just empowers you to know the Linux system in a better way. So that is the main usage of documentation, and knowing the functionalities of other all the functionalities of the documentation and options of documentation makes you more powerful. So that is why it is important to know, right? So the first option which we have within the Linux is the main pages. In main is nothing but is the short form of manual, or we call it as the manual pages, or in short the man pages. So the main page provide you in-depth documentation about many programs, utility, as well as other topics associated to those, including config files, programming APIs for system calls, library routine, kernel, etc., etc. It's a kind of a Bible for each and every utility available in the Linux, and it can be accessed using your main pages or manual pages. And it was first introduced in 1970s within your Unix invention itself, and till now it is being maintained nicely, and it is used very widely. If you want to know or want to see the overall documentation of main pages, there is a link which you can check it out. I will pin it in the description as well so that you can follow it. But this is the link where all the main pages are being maintained. Let's see in action how it is or how it works. So whenever you are in a terminal or whether in a Linux environment, main pages are pre-installed. You don't need to install anything. You just need to access it. How it works? Let's say I use ls command for listing a files and directories within my present working directory. What if I have not told you and you don't know already? Man can help you to learn more about it. How it can be used? You just have to do man followed by the command. and it will open this kind of documentation to read through. And it has a very elaborative description and all the options with respect to ls command. You can read through it and utilize it. But if you don't want to do it, there are some shortcuts as well, right? So it opens the document. If you want to exit, you just have to type q and it will take you out. Now, let's say I want to know what are the commands available within my Linux to search anything or search any kind of options. It can be anything, right? How to use it? I can use men hyphen k followed by any command which you want to search. Let's say I want to see all the commands and options which is available in my Linux for the search. I can search. I can see these are the options which are available within my Linux for searching anything within that, where a props can be used for manual page name description. I can use find command. If you have not watched our video on find, please watch it. There will be a link in the comment as well. It's a very interesting video. Try to see it. Then there is command for VZ scan, which we use for all volume groups, etc., etc. Right? So that is how we use hyphen k option for searching it. Right? Let's say I want to view all the manual pages for any command. Okay, how I do it? I can use men hyphen a password. Why this is important? Sometimes what happens for a particular command or a particular utility, there can be more than one pages as well. Okay. So if you want to see all the manual pages for password, all the documentation you want to you want to become a pro in password command, then you can just hit hyphen a from main and it will show you all the commands or all the main pages associated to password. You can read through it and you can become a pro with password command, right? That is how it works using men. As simple as that. There is no such complexity within it, right? Now, second concept within the manual is the chapter. Okay, so when it comes to viewing the documentation, we are not getting very deep into it. What is written, why it is written? It's just a simple documentation. You can read through it, but how it is written, if you want to understand, it can be segregated into chapters, right, or sections. How in a book it is there, right? So main page can section or divide the documentation into logical groups so that different items with the same name can be documented separately. What does it mean? For example, for a main page, it can have for a particular command, what are the user commands available, how the command makes a system call, how the library function works, how it interacts with the device files, how it uses the file format, etc., right? So what main pages does it tries to segregate into different sections so that it can be read in a more elaborative way. And how it is segregated? It is segregated with some of the numerical value. Okay, so it can be 1 for user command, 2 for kernel system calls, 4 for device files, 5 for file formats, 6 for games, 7 for miscellaneous, 8 for system and admin commands, etc., right? How it works in real time. Let's see it. Let's say I have a command as password. Okay, so if I do normal main password, I can see multiple options within there. Let's say I don't want to read everything about it and I know about section. I'm an advanced user. What I will do is I will try to jump exactly the file formats, how the file formats work within the password command. What I will do main followed by 5, which symbolizes the section of a manual followed by the command, which I want to see. If I do, here you can see it is showing file format and configuration for the password file, and I can read through it, how it works and all that. Okay. Now, the question will arise is, am I required to memorize all the section and what are the significance? The answer will be at the first go, it will be no, right? So the section is used when you are trying to work on moreover on kernel development or OS level programs you want to develop. Then if you want to extend your knowledge within that, then sections come into the picture, right? And all the commands cannot have the sections, but some of the commands which is explicitly uses system calls and do the interactions at the kernel level or maintains a file format, then only it will be having. All the commands doesn't come by default with the sections options. This is just for your information. You can use it in your future references. That is why it is important to know. Hope you get it. Now, moving back, the second option is the GNU info systems. There is not only men, which helps you to provide documentation. GNU project also standardized the documentation format, which is an alternative to men, and it focuses on giving you more elaboration on a particular command or more information about a particular command in a structured way within your Linux system, right? Now, what are the differences? The key differences is men is simple and it can be short, but The GNU info system is quite detailed as well as structured, right? Most of the time, main pages are single page, but info pages can be linked pages, or multiple links can present within an info page or in the GNU info systems for further details, right? Main pages are easy to use, while GNU info systems are more navigation is required because it is quite long, and it helps when you want to extend your knowledge for a particular command or utility or binary whatsoever. Right? So most of the time, man is widely used, but GNU info system is used explicitly for GNU tools, but you are free to use it. Let's see a small illustration. So now I can use both man and info systems. Let's say I want to do man ls. It can give me page. Let's say I want to see the GNU info systems. How I will do the command which we use is info, just enter. So this is the command output of info, and it is the documentation itself of the command info, what it does. You can read through it. It has lot many options, and you can just use up arrow or down arrow for playing around the pages, or there are advanced options as well. You can hit enter, you can go to the next page, or you can hit P for previous page, right? Or you can use U for going or turning your page, right, in the Linux way. That is how info works. Now let's see or try to see some of the commands. Q, always hit Q to exit out of any of the main or GNU info systems, right? Let's say I want to know more about the LX command. Okay, I hit enter. Here you might be saying there is little bit changement in the arrangement of the lines and how it is written. So that is why GNU focuses on more structured way of defining the documentation for a particular utility or library or any kind of command, and you can read through it more elaborative way, right? So that is how info systems work within your Linux, right? This is one way of accessing the GNU info systems or GNU documentation, right? This info command works when you just want some of the basic to moderate details about the beginner level, right? Let's say you are a very pro user of Unix or Linux and you want a deep understanding on some of the useful advanced commands and scripting, as well as you are doing or preparing for some certifications or exam, and you want to understand more detail about it using the GNU info system. There is again one more command, how it works. I can use info. I can provide an argument for core utils, followed by, in single quotes, I can provide command, and I can hit for invocation, and I hit enter. Here you can see this is more elaborative documentation for knowing the ls or list in a detailed way. And here you can get links as well, multiple links, which files are listed, what information is listed, sorting the output, multiple ways. You can go to the link and you can read through it. That is how it works. Let's see one more command. Let's say I want to know more about the cp command. Okay, core utils in single quote cp invocation. Hit enter. I can see very elaborative documentation on cp, right? So that is how some of the advanced functionality within your GNU info system works, right? Now again the question, do I have to know everything if I am in beginner or intermediate? The answer will be no. It is it is the tool just to make you powerful. Memorizing everything or knowing everything is not necessary. As simple as that, right? Now let's see one more options or one more way of accessing your documents, right? Using help command. Okay, let's say I want to know more about cd command. Okay, I can do help followed by cd documentation, like more precise way of showcasing the cd command, not a very elaborative. I can use this. Let's say I want to know more about ls command, right? Let me clear my screen. I want to know more about ls command. Enter. Here you can see there is an error or error which has been shown to me, showing that no help topics match for ls, right? But when I head for cd, I got the documentation. Now here is the catch. So this command works on the all the built-in shell command or built-in shell commands which are available, like cd, mkdir, etc., etc. There are segregation of what is a built-in command and what is a binary which is pre-installed or installed within your Linux distribution or not. So help command only works on for the built-in shell commands. It doesn't work on the other commands. So how to know whether a command is a built-in shell command or whether it is an external command? The command which we use is type. So type will tell you what is the nature of a command, right? It's a bonus. Here you can see ls is an alias to this particular program. While if I do type cd, here you can see cd is a built-in command. So help command works on the shell built-in commands, and it doesn't work on the external command, right? So what if I want to know the short description of any external commands? That is also a provision. I can do ls followed by hyphen hyphen help, and I can get short documentation around it, right? So help will not work for all the commands and shells. It has limitation, but for any program within your Linux, if you want to know a short description about it, then you can use this option. It is very helpful, right? So that is what some of the options by which you can access natively within your Linux for documentations, right? Now, what are the other documentations available? There are multiple options by which you can do. These are very specific to distributions. For example, this link takes you to the documentation on OpenSUSE main pages, as well as Gentoo. I have the link for docs for Fedora, and I have for Ubuntu as well. This links also has multiple documentation to learn more about it or have extensive knowledge about all the functional libraries within the distributions. I will quickly show you how it exactly looks. This is a documentation to Ubuntu documentation page. Here you will get all the information starting from installation, security, customization, etc. etc. So many options which you can. These links will be given in the description. No need to worry about it. And this is very useful. Try it out. If not, then just put your doubts in the comment box. I will answer all your queries, and any information I have, I will happy to provide. And these links can be found in the description. Please feel free to check it out and let me know your thoughts. So with that, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you like it. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you in next video. Thank you.